he's pretty mobile. It's a bit harder to go to the right. Left is super easy. So we could probably jump right into his deep neck flexors. Because the question is always asked, why do you treat infra highways? First and foremost, accessibility. If you don't treat them, it's very hard to get into the deep neck flexors. But other than that, swallowing issues, highway mobility, and these muscles actually do refer some pretty intense headaches infra highways too. So, first thing is fingertips. You're not right in the center of the trachea, you're just outside of it, below the highway bone. It's a very light sort of glide down, and then I have them reach through the crown of their head, so just lengthen your spine towards me. And that's actually going to work better if, we're good, we keep going. Good. If you bring your feet to the table and knees up for me. Great. That'll work good. So let's bring the chin down just a little bit. Good. So again, top of the trachea. Pin it down. Now push through the feet, lengthen the spine towards me, and lift the chin up. Yeah, that's better. So we get a nice stretch through there, yeah. Good. Sheesh. Okay. You have a number of ways you can do this. Fingertips, thumbs, whatever your preference is, but you want to be able to get to the side of the trachea. Right, you can see his SCMs here. We want to get right into those muscles. And you want to be able to bridge or support the trachea on one side so you're not pushing it. So you can use fingertips or thumbs for that. What you want to be able to do. You doing all right? So those are the muscles here. So on initial glide, they're not super tight, so I'm thinking maybe we can pick his up. So we're going to come around. So to do this, you have to get a pretty good investment, right? Oh my God. You'll be good, man. So you grab in, lift up. And there we have it.
Oh.
You okay?
So you're grabbing with your thumbs too, right?
Yes,
and
from both sides.
Are you grabbing around or?
Yeah, it's like I'm thinking about the muscles on the trachea. So I'm not squeezing his trachea real hard.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get that lift. You good?
Let him go.
Right there. Oh.
It'll make sense when you feel it.
Right, so it's lifting the trachea.
Oh.
The trachea, no, it's lifting the stuff on the trachea. Yeah.
On the trachea?
Yeah, so I'm completely off his trachea right now. I've lifted the muscles off of him, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not actually...
No, what I've done is I have grabbed around the trachea and lifted it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, but some of the deeper ones want to fall right there. Those right there, so I might need to go a little bit there. So when you find spots like this, you just press. So some cases where this would also be good too, which I didn't mention, is whiplash. Whiplash people, this is really pretty critical stuff. So
what are the muscles that are like right around it?
You've got thyrohyoid, omohyoid, sternohyoid, and sternothyroid. Those are your 4 infrahyoid muscles. We can pop up some pictures when we start doing it. Yeah, buddy. So now I'm working directly on the trachea. This is directly into it.
So you're squeezing like the muscles onto the trachea?
Into the trachea, yep. And the trachea can take the rings are a mixture of hyaline and fibrocartilage. They're very sturdy. They're really not going to collapse under your pressure. I mean, unless you were to like hammer chop it or something, it's going to be fine. You know, it's still slow, delicate work. I'm certainly not maxing out my pressure by any means. I'm just isolating those muscles and working them. So those are really your two options, guys. Isolate the muscles against the trachea, lift them, and compress them. Those are pretty much your two options. And then, of course, the glide and the stretch. But these muscles, I mean, if you can you should feel them if you roll up. You feel little strings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you press them at the right spot, it's intense. So that's pretty much all you're doing is working along those.
Do you feel like any choking at all?
No, I mean, I was afraid I would, but no, I'm choking. You might feel a little restriction as far as swallowing, but not really.
And that's a good point, because we're so close to that highway. Every time you swallow, the highway wants to shift.
Yeah.
So you're kind of around that space. It'll be a little different for colon capitis, because we're literally going to move the trachea out of the way.
So would it be good for you to tell your client to minimize the swallowing if they can?
Sure. Yeah, you could tell them, try to limit how much.
Try to limit your swallowing if you need,
Or if you need to swallow, just let me know, we can come out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So one other thing here, so that is David's highway bone here. Okay. So what we're going to try to do is get a little bit of work done where those muscles attach. And you'd be surprised, I mean, you get a lot of headache referrals from these muscles. Especially if you work on like smokers or people who drink out of straws a lot.
It's kind of hurt a little bit. That's fine.
Is it just sharp when we're working in there? Is it getting sharp?
No, not really. It's just like a dull ache.
That's the one right there. A little bit more work on that. Okay. Is it some of the stuff you went through in the last class? Some of the stuff.
So, but
It's been
I
a long
don't,
time.
yeah, I don't feel like we did quite as, it was different in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. So again, superhighways for the most part we've done. You've got a couple of options here, which is to squeeze the floor of the mouth, and we get some of it, some of those longer fibers. You're fine. We get some of those longer fibers with David, but the deeper ones not so much. But we get the longer ones right there. Okay. So here we would be getting portions of geniohyoid, portions of the digastric. Maybe not so much the mylohyoid, but we're getting some of those longer ones here. Now, one thing you can do is hold back towards the hyoid and have them protract the jaw. So send the jaw slowly forward or up towards the ceiling. There we go. Just allows you to glide a little bit. Good. Same thing here. The front of the hyoid is where the loop for the digastric is, and then it glides back towards the mastoid process for digastric. Now, obviously, you want to be careful of that styloid process, but you can get in and stretch around. His really aren't that tight. There are people, if you go in here, you'll feel really, really tight bands, like real taut. So, pin the infrahyoids down, extend up, compress into the trachea, lift and squeeze. Treat the tip of the hyoid bone. Right? Because you've already done floor of the mouth work. You've through the mouth. So this is just getting those lower portions. And you can work that all the way out towards the tip of the jaw too. Thorough with that. Which brings us to coli and capitis. So you will probably do that work occasionally, unless you're doing something like a series or, it'll probably be very specific whiplash cases, headaches you haven't been able to figure out. You're not going to do that with everybody, obviously. It's just all relative to situation. Coli